Hello and welcome to another video. If you are new here, hello, welcome. My name is Lanice. I am a registered nurse and I do these cool little nursing videos. If you are not new here, hello, welcome back. Thank you for coming back and tuning in to another video. You already know my name is Lanice, but we'll get straight to the point. So you guys know I have not posted a video in a while. If you are not new here, I have not posted in a while because I have been going through a lot of transitions. If you can't tell, the background is a little bit different because I have recently moved. That was one transition. Another transition is my daughter is back here with me and I came off the road from traveling. So we've been trying to settle into a routine. Another thing that is different is I'm back working full-time at the hospital. I never left the hospital fully whenever I left to go travel. I went PRN, but now I am back at the hospital full-time and I'm no longer working as a cardiac nurse. I am working as a float pool nurse. So I go to 5 different hospitals within the hospital system that I work in, and I work on different floors. Lately, I've been doing a lot of neuro. I've been working on neuro floor a lot, and I have been doing a lot of ED holds. If you guys want to know how a med-surg nurse works in the ED, just comment down below and I will share with you everything that I love and hate about working in the emergency room as a med-surg nurse doing emergency room holds. But I'm going to go ahead and get to it today. I'm not going to say it's a pro and con video. Not quite sure what I'm going to name this video. But it will be basically talking about the pros and cons that I have noticed now that I've gone back full-time as a nurse at the hospital system and I'm coming off the road from traveling. I will say that it's probably going to be more cons. I'm not in the best mood when it comes to, or I'm not really happy with the decision that I made to go back full-time, mostly because I have taken a huge pay cut from traveling. So we will start with that. Shake it, shake it. Come over and check up on 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 it. When it comes to traveling and it comes to being a full-time nurse, the full-time nurse at the hospitals right now are really getting shitted on. I'm sorry. If you're new here, I do curse every now and then, and that's one of the curse words you're going to get because the full-time nurses are getting pooped on. Even as a PRN worker, I made significantly more money than I am now as a full-time staff, and I will tell you why. So I am currently a float nurse. My base pay is $34 and some change, almost $35, and then I get an extra $15 an hour increase because I am a float nurse, so they call it float pay. Due to me getting that $15 an hour increase, I no longer get offered double time. I no longer get offered incentives. And before coming into this, I wasn't aware that very rarely this position that I'm in, the float pool nurse, I was not aware that it's rare that we get offered double time or incentive pay because the floor that I came from, that I was working on at the hospital as a cardiac nurse, always had double time. I mean, I had been working there for almost 2 years and it was never a time where they weren't offering double time or incentive pay, which were both amazing. They put a lot of extra money on your paychecks. But now that I'm no longer a floor nurse and I'm a float nurse, they no longer, I'm not gonna say they no longer because sometimes it's offered, but it's very sporadically. They have to be in dire need. And as a float nurse, you're almost next to the travel nurses because they look at you like, hey, you make more money than the floor nurses do, you know, there's really no reason for us to offer you any extra incentive for coming in and getting extra shifts, or at least that's what it seems like. So that is probably the first con that I would say I have gotten or I have seen since I have came back as a full-time nurse. My pay has drastically decreased as a travel nurse. Even on my last assignment was the lowest paying assignment I had while traveling in the last year, and I was still getting at least $2,200 a week, you know? So Yeah, it's a drastic decrease, because now one thing that I will say that I did not like switching into this position is that they don't even offer you your float pot pay while you're in orientation. And I was in orientation for about 3 weeks. You have to do a week of computer-based learning, so you're at home, which was better than having to go and drive somewhere. I'll at least say that. And you just got your base pay for that week. Then the following 7 shifts, you have to do 7 shifts of orientation where they send you to each hospital that you have a possibility of working while you're a float nurse, and they send you also to behavioral health. Even though you're traveling to these hospitals, you're still in orientation, so you don't get your $15 an hour float pay. So for about a month now, I have just been making $34 an hour. And coming from making, basically, if you average out your travel contracts, where my last contract I was making about $2,200 a week after taxes, that's like what, like, let me see, $2,200 divided by 36 hours, $61 an hour. That's a lot more than 34, you know. It's like almost double, and that's a week. That's not even 2 weeks. But anyway, so the pay has drastically decreased. I still haven't quite gotten a full paycheck as a full-time float nurse yet. But just doing the numbers, it's looking like if you work 36 hours a week, you get paid every 2 weeks, and you pay for your health insurance, you're taking home probably about $2,300 every 2 weeks. So I'm basically cutting my income in half. I will say that the benefits working for the hospital are a pro. Me and my daughter have amazing benefits. However, while traveling, as long as you're on contract, you have the same exact health insurance. And let me tell you how I know this, because working as a full-time nurse, they give you Cigna insurance. Of course, you determine what tier of insurance you would like, but I believe I pay about $150 every 2 weeks, which is $300 a month, for the same exact coverage with Cigna, same person and everything. Every company I travel with, they were offering Cigna health insurance. So same exact coverage, same exact insurance company. I even have the same exact member ID. Bouncing from travel company to travel company, I still have the same member ID with Cigna. And at the hospital, I pay about $300 a month, and depending on which travel company I go with, I'm paying about $100 to $150 a week. So the cost of insurance is a huge difference, but you still have the same amount of coverage. Also, a lot of these travel companies, they do offer 401k and they do offer PTO, but you have to have been working with them for over 120 days. So I would say that a pro of going back full-time are the benefits. They do have good medical coverage at the hospital, of course. So another thing that I have noticed that is a con, switching over into this float position, is that during orientation, they made it clear that if you clock out after 7:35 in the evening, I'm a day shift nurse, so I work from 7A to 7P, which is 6:45 to 7:15. That's what you're expected to work. If you clock out after 7:35, they will speak to you about it. Basically, they're telling you you have no business clocking out after 7:35. I'm not sure how many of you guys have ever been a med-surg nurse that are watching this video, or who may be interested in being a med-surg nurse, but I'm not gonna say it's rare, because I know a lot of people that no matter what, they're gonna leave. I know a lot of people that as soon as they get to work, they start doing their assessments in the computer, not necessarily on their patients, but they start go ahead and charting their assessments and getting their charting out of the way so they can leave on time. I'm not that type of person. I'm not going to chart an assessment until I assess my patient. And sometimes once you get your day started, it's really not much sitting down to chart. So I very rarely get off work on time. And so for someone to basically I'm not gonna say be upset, because nobody's approached me about it as of yet, because I've been trying to get out of there on time since I've taken this new position. But for it to even be a problem or on the list of rules, it's like, why, you know, how are you, how can that be an issue? Like, you should be glad that I'm taking the time out to take care of my patients and not really focusing on charting that much in the moment. Or not saying you're supposed to chart in the moment, but like I'm focusing on my patients and I'm a little too busy to sit down at work because I'm taking care of my patients. Why would you get upset or kind of threaten me with some type of disciplinary action because I might clock out 45 minutes late every day? And I'm not gonna lie, like, a lot of times I don't leave work until about 7:45. Just because it takes me that long to go through and finish up my chart. And a lot of these floors that I work on, you have to do Q4 assessments, Q4 neuro checks, Q12 NIH stroke scales. Like, it's a lot of charting that goes into med surg. And the last couple of floors that I've been sent to these last weeks, you're getting 6 patients. I don't care if it takes me 2 hours to finish charting. It should not be an issue. It should not be an issue. So yeah, that would definitely be a con that has irritated me. I'm sorry, I just trying to stay on point here. So another thing that I would say that you notice, and this isn't necessarily a hospital or a travel thing, it's just a nursing thing in general, is the elitism with nursing. If you are in the hospital and you don't have your bachelor's degree, or it doesn't say BSN RN on your badge, people kind of discredit you no matter how much experience you have, no matter how smart you sound. It's like, oh, you got your ADN or your BSN? I'm an ADN. Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of elitism in nursing in general, and that is definitely a con. Say that another con of going back full-time is that I feel like a cog in a wheel. Like, I just feel like I'm not really valued by the company. They don't care about your loyalty to stay with the company. And I'm gonna give you an example. They don't care about your loyalty. Like I said, my base pay is almost $35 an hour. I stayed with this hospital. The sun is moving. I stayed with this hospital for 2 years now. I have a friend who, we both graduated nursing school same time, started on the same floor same time, and we both left to go travel around the same time. When she left, she quit. She no longer worked for the company. I went PRN and I stayed with the company. When I transitioned into this new position, they did not give me any type of raise in my base pay. They told me that because this is a lateral transition, my base pay doesn't go up, but I will get my float pay incentive. So that puts me at around $49, $50 an hour. My friend quit and came back at PRN, same position as a float nurse, and she's getting paid $55 an hour. No base pay, no float pool incentive or anything. Like, she's just out the back getting $55 an hour. And I understand that, you know, PRN is normally paid more, but when I was PRN, I still didn't get a raise. They still didn't change how much they paid me at all. The only reason I made more money PRN is because the way that I earned incentives was a lot different. So I was able to earn incentives a lot quicker because I only had to pick up a couple extra shifts before my incentives started kicking in. So, you know, it just feels like the loyalty that you give these hospitals as a nurse, it doesn't matter. They do not care. They do not appreciate it. And I would say that's definitely a con, because as a travel nurse, I feel like I was appreciated a lot more because they knew I didn't have to be here. I had options. I could go somewhere else. I could cancel my contract at any moment. And don't get me wrong, as a nurse, you can quit as a floor nurse, but I just feel like you're expected to tolerate things that are intolerable whenever you are an employee of the hospital. I just feel like hospital employees in general just aren't treated the best. So I would say that that is another con. Honestly, I don't have too many pros, and again, I might be speaking a little ill or might not have that many pros right now because I'm really feeling the difference. I'm feeling the shift from going from traveling to PRN to full-time again, and I'm kind of regretting my decision, so I might be going back to traveling or something. I'm not sure, but I will say that right now, nursing, it sucks, and the only thing that isn't making me want to do a total career change is that I actually like my job. I actually enjoy going and taking care of people. I actually like interacting with people every day, but it really sucks for nurses out there right now. And I'm sorry if you're a new nurse or you haven't even started yet, but I'm telling you, when you get on that floor, the only thing that's going to keep you in it is the fact that you want to be in it. That's the only thing that'll keep you in it. Once you realize you're working a lot of hours and making a little bit of money, or once you realize you're working a lot of hours and you're busting your ass and people are ungrateful. It's a lot. It's a lot that's going on right now when it comes to nursing, and it's just it's a very unfair field. They're not paid. I think nurses are kind of like teachers right now. We're just not paid what we're worth. And I'm really starting to feel it again after being paid what I felt like I was worth a little bit. So I don't really have too much more to say. Just wanted to say that, get that off my chest. I do hope that this video was informational a little bit, you know, for you guys. And I do hope that you got something from it. If you do agree with me or you feeling the same pains that I'm feeling, comment down below, let me know. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, because now that I'm broke again, I really need YouTube to really start popping off. So yeah, please subscribe, please like, please share my content. That's all I'm asking. And again, my name is Lanice, and I hope you guys enjoy. Peace.